Hello, and welcome back to Curious Mystics Podcast. I am Aericka, and in this podcast, we explore the intersections of nature, spirit, and personal transformation, and how reconnecting with the living world can help us navigate life with more awareness and meaning. Welcome back, everybody. I appreciate you being here. If I sound a little congested, I apologize. I've been sick for the last couple of weeks, so that has been awesome. I know a lot of people have been this last couple of weeks. So if you're there, sorry, I feel you. But I got my candle lit. I got some eucalyptus and I think it's sage, eucalyptus and sage going. Rosemary, just kind of trying to burn away the sickness. It's beautiful out this morning. So the whole day actually. So I had the windows open. So that was really nice. But all right. Well, today we're going to get into it. And I want to explore an idea that sounds pretty philosophical at first, but actually becomes pretty practical to everyday life. And this idea is the world around us is alive and it's available for relationship. One of my fellow shamanic classmates said this the other day, and it just I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. I love the idea of that. It's kind of how I live my life. So I wanted to talk about it. So when people hear something like that, it can sound pretty mystical at first, right? Like you're like, okay, cool. Like the world is alive. Like this, what is it? Like the sound of music. But, um, but what I'm really talking about is something much more grounded. For most of human history, people understood themselves as living inside a community of life. The land wasn't just scenery, animals weren't just background, as you can hear my cat. Um, but like the weather, rivers, forest, all of it was part of a living system that humans were participating in, not just being in, but participating in. In many traditions, this way of seeing the world is called animism. And animism doesn't mean believing in something like magical or supernatural. At its simplest, it means recognizing the world is made up of living systems and that we as humans are part of those systems. The soil is alive, the oceans are alive, the forests are alive and all have a spirit. And ecosystems are constantly interacting and responding to one another. And humans aren't separate from that. We are very much a part of it. One thing that I've noticed both in my own life and in like people that I work with is how easy it is to become disconnected from ourselves, disconnected from like our partners, from our family, from our friends, especially from nature. Life gets super busy and people are dealing with work and responsibilities and stress and family obligations. Like raise your hands. Like seriously, this is where I'm at most of the time. And there's constant input from phones and screens and news and social media and like everything that's going on in the world right now. And when that happens, the world can start to feel like super small or maybe too big, like way too big, and you feel very small and insignificant. And sometimes life just becomes work and responsibilities and whatever is happening inside our own thoughts. And oftentimes this can lead to feeling burned out or lonely, or like we're just moving through life in autopilot. But something interesting happens when we start reconnecting with the living world around us, even in the most simplest of ways, like walking outside or sitting near water, spending time under trees, looking out the window, looking at the sky, looking at the birds in the trees, just watching the clouds go by. And there's a reason so many people say they feel calmer after being in nature. Are you one of those people? Like, I absolutely have. Like, usually people are just like, oh my gosh, I needed that. I have definitely said that. And have you had a moment like that? Maybe it was sitting by the ocean or walking through the woods, or like I said, just looking outside and looking at the stars at night, or the clouds go by. Moments where something in us just calms down and relaxes. Well, there's actually science behind why this happens. Research shows that spending time in natural environments helps lower stress hormones, regulate the nervous system, and restore our attention and focus. For most of human history, our nervous system developed in environments filled with natural movement, sound, and life. And connection to our neighbors, connection to our family. Like whole generations lived in one house. We heard of it takes a village. It really did. It really still should. And many people were connected to the rhythms of day and night and to the seasons. So when we reconnect with those environments, something inherently inside of us recognizes it. Our nervous system begins to settle down and relax. But beyond the science, there's something relational about it. If we sit outside quietly for a few minutes and actually pay attention, you'll notice something. The world is not like this stagnant, like plain environment. The world is incredibly alive. Birds are communicating constantly. You can hear the wind through the trees, through the leaves. You see insects moving through grass. Like I said, the clouds. Life is moving all around us. And when we begin to notice that, something shifts in how we experience ourselves. We stop feeling lonely or disconnected, or just observers standing outside the world. And we begin remembering that we are participants inside this living system, not just observers. When I started really observing and connecting to nature, it was like a whole veil was lifted. Everything seems way more alive. There's brighter colors. I could find the beauty in almost anything. Even a wintry mix of rain and sleet could be beautiful, right? I mean, as long as I wasn't driving in it. But it's so amazing that now when I connect on as often on a daily basis, that now I am so attuned to even the smallest bits of beauty and life that's out there. And there are so many different ways that we can connect to this life, this network of life. But I'm going to give you a quick way to do it right now. So it's not complicated, and you don't need to necessarily believe in anything special to do it. So let's do it. So if you're somewhere you can pause for a moment, you could try this now. If not, you can always come back to it later. All right. So let's take a deep breath and put our feet on the floor. And we're going to take a nice, slow breath in. And as you blow out, I want you to let your shoulders relax a little. And I want you to notice where you are. If you're outside, notice the air, the sounds around you, the temperature in the air. Is it cold? Is it dry? Is it wet? If you're inside, you can still notice the light coming through a window, or the sky, or the weather outside. Now I want you to take another slow, deep breath in. And as you blow out, I want you to bring your attention to something simple. The place where you are right now exists within a much larger living system. There's land beneath the building you're in. There's soil, water, roots, animals, weather patterns. Life is moving all around you, whether you notice it or not. For a moment, I want you to simply acknowledge that. Acknowledge that life, the root system beneath you, the air you're breathing. You might silently think to yourself, thank you for this place, or I'm here. Let's take one more slow breath in. And just notice how you feel. Often when we pause like this, something subtle shifts. Our nervous system settles, our attention widens, we feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more connected. And remember that we're not alone, and we are not separate from the life around us. All right, let's come back to ourselves. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Just sit with that for a second. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes again. Many shamanic traditions talk about something called the shamanic net of power. And I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before if you listened to this podcast before. And the idea that everything in existence is connected through a web of relationships. Humans, animals, land, weather, water, spirit allies, it's all interconnected. And you could actually see hints of this everywhere. Like a forest isn't just a collection of trees. Trees communicate underground through fungal networks. And there's actually the bamboo has little rhizomes that go underneath the ground and connect each shoot together. And so they're actually growing both lengthwise and vertically. Animals spread seeds, rain feeds the soil feeds the roots, and everything is interacting with everything else. The same is true in our own lives. Our actions affect other people. The environment we live in affects our health, and the way we relate to the world shapes our experience of it. In future episodes, I want to explore that more deeply, what the shamans call the net of power, but in how the understanding of that web of connection can change how we think about healing and our place in the world. But we'll do that in another episode. But what do you guys think? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you're maybe not so alone, or maybe a little bit more grounded, knowing that you can kind of reach out to the other things going on around you? I do. I definitely do. But for now, I want you to try to simply do a couple of exercises. I want you to try to step outside sometimes and pause even for a few breaths and notice what's going on around you. Maybe listen to that little exercise we did earlier and write it down, and you could do that on a daily basis or even just a weekly basis, just to slow down and connect. And remember that the world isn't just a place that we live in, it's a place that we live with, and the ecosystem is a living system that we live with. So if this resonated with you and you're feeling a pull to explore this kind of connection more deeply, I do offer one-on-one sessions where we work together to reconnect with yourself and the natural world and deeper guidance available to you. My work blends my background in healthcare with spiritual and shamanic practices to help people who are feeling disconnected or burned out or in a turning point in their lives. So, if this speaks to you, you can learn more about working with me through the link in the show notes. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to hear from you. Um, if anybody does do this little exercise, I'd love for you to send me a little comment in the in it's on Spotify and let me know how you what did you see? What did you experience? Did you feel anything? We're building community here, guys. So reach out. Let me know. Send me a picture of, I think you can send me a picture in the comments. I don't know, maybe not. But no, my DMs on curious underscore mystics underscore podcast on Instagram, on Facebook, Curious Mystics Podcast. Yeah, let me know what you're seeing out there, how you're feeling. So thank you for listening. And until next time, stay curious and stay connected. Bye, guys.